Okay, welcome everyone. We're ready to go and appreciate you all showing up on time. I'm sure there will be some people that show up a little later. They're coming now. They heard me talk about them. I'm going to start with a article that I read in Risk Media. Risk Media is one of the top news sources for real estate. And that site is actually free. So there's no reason you can't go on there and take the collective wisdom that's presented there and put it into your business. Just a preface to this is expand your sphere with hobbies. Number one, this is very relevant to those agents who have picked networking as their main way of prospecting and building their business. They have to be doing this. For everyone else, you still have hobbies, you still play golf, you still bike, you still sail, you do whatever you do, you fish, and it's crazy to think of that we're in, a life that's in little compartments. Not that we want our work life to dominate, but I think the word is integrate, and we're always going to be sorry.
Maybe they're just trying to raise the temperature on race relations because of the next election. 26 states have signed legislation to restrict the ideology from being.
Okay, got them muted. If you are into real estate full-time, real estate is your life, and an integration with other parts of your life seems to be something that makes a lot of sense. So hobbies are an excellent way for real estate agents to take a break and de-stress after a long work week, but they can also yield some positive results in lead generation. From leveraging online and offline relationships to participating in community events, agents can expand their sphere of influence while enjoying their favorite activities. Part of hobbies is finding communities that share the same interests. And if you are part of a regular group, chances are you have a few people willing to refer you to a friend or coworker. If you are connecting with people over your mutual hobby, take time to nurture those relationships. As friendship grows, pay attention to any cues signaling that they may know someone who's interested in entering the market. If they know someone, offer up your contact information and ask your buddy to mention or introduce you to a prospective client. From book clubs to gardening groups, enjoying your hobby in a group setting can create many opportunities and conversations that can lead to new business. Keep in mind that these social gatherings are meant for the shared enjoyment of your hobby, so don't force the conversation into business. Instead, let things flow organically as you and your fellow hobbyists talk about the latest news. If you hear anyone express an interest in selling or buying, make a mental note and catch up with that person after the outing. Using social media groups is also a great way to find people that enjoy the same hobbies and interests that you do. The same connections you make online can be potential leads if you're willing to nurture those relationships. The great thing about having sport as a hobby is there are plenty of competitive and community events you can participate in. Local fundraisers and charity events like golf tournaments, marathons are a great way to get your name out there among the larger community of people, presenting opportunities to network and increase your sphere of influence. And that's what it's all about. It's all about having more people in your database. There's a fine line here that you do not want to cross. that moves you to interesting realtor to pest. And the fact is that you don't really have to say anything about real estate. When you meet people, when I meet people, many people ask me, you know, what I do for a living. And I just tell them. And usually the next time I meet them, what's the first question they ask me? The first question they ask me is, how's the market? So I do two things regularly in a group. I play golf with a group of guys almost every week, and a week never goes by without somebody asking me about the market. I have a regular group that plays bridge in our community, and every week I sit down at the table and the first question is, what's going on with the market in our community? So giving professional and low-key answers to those without a sales pitch is the best way to get people comfortable with you. And that's the first step. So very important. If you're a networker, you should be doing this. You should be having 2 or 3 activities a week that are group activities, including other events like outings and different events that bring people together. So I thought that was interesting. I thought we'd start with that. Okay, let's go through recent inventory. So excuse me, the latest listing is from Lisa. It's 12 Wren Drive. Lisa, if you could unmute yourself and tell us about the listing.
Sure, John. What to say? Beautiful location, award-winning schools, mid-block, large. Most of it's updated. The yard is phenomenal. The pool is the best part of the house. Taxes are reasonable. They've been grieved. I guess that's it.
So it's a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath, expanded split that Lisa calls a contemporary, doesn't matter. Listed at 1,399, and it's 12 Wren Drive in Woodbury. Now, Lisa also relisted 14 Melanie in Plainview. We have anything to say about that, Lisa?
I need to sell it. It's a beautiful home. It's well worth every penny they're asking for it. The taxes have been an issue and they're being grieved and fought and arbitrated, and should come down to somewhere near half of what it is. They should be like 24,000. But for now they're 41,000. So it's been a bit of an issue.
Okay, great job. $1 million listings. We love them. Okay, there was one listing that's now temporarily off the market. Beatrice, are you available to talk? Can you unmute yourself? Okay, let's move on.
I'm here. Can you hear
There
me?
you are.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
So is 640 South Main Street off the market because
Yeah.
there's an offer?
No, only because okay, the house has a little issues with a bucket. So they're working on it. They've been waiting for 2 years to have it done. It's already with the permits, but they find like a little hole in the backyard. So they want to make sure that everything is okay, because they don't want no issue when they come. So what we did yesterday is, and I thought that was a smart idea. We did a home inspection, like a regular buyer. to make sure that everything is okay with the house. Everything is done. They making a little repairs, and probably by next week, I'm gonna put it back in the market.
Okay,
That's a beautiful house. It's a 26, almost 27 square footage, like living. Master bedroom is huge with chimney, with that fireplace, big, huge walk-in closet, had 2 walk-in closet, bathroom, view to the water, it's the canal. It's an amazing house. Everything is kind of new roof, new everything. Only because the canal, and she couldn't do the oh my God, what is the name of she couldn't do on time the
okay,
I don't know what so that's why we put it off. But definitely when the inspection came yesterday, he said everything is okay, so we're gonna put it back.
excellent,
Okay.
excellent. So that's a splash on the canal in Freeport, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and listed at 739. So
Also, the house has an extra. It's like an apartment. It's at the side of the house. I didn't really list it because it's not legal. Was there when they bought it, but she make an extra thing. So we're not going to represent that. But it's going to be like, can be a potential mother-in-law. So it's an extra space that is not really disclosure in the listing.
okay, excellent. Good job. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. It is the first week, sort of the first full week. We're just a week into July. And it's the first meeting of the month, which means we talk about the market. We talk about market stats. If you want to put an answer in the chat now, give me an idea if you think if the market is the same or has changed for the better or changed for the worse. What do you think about the market right now? What's going on with the inventory, with the buyers, with the sellers?
I'll guess better.
It's going to get better. Okay. It's worse. Yeah. Same to better. So some people say they see a little loosening up from a point of view of less craziness. And I think part of that is there are buyers that have sort of given up. They've been priced out or feel like they've been priced out. And we are at the height of the listing season. Probably the numbers will start going down next month. So one of the interesting things is it really is an up and down market in terms of inventory. Some people say there's a lot more inventory, but not really. It is very localized. So let's just go through some numbers. On July 1st, there were 3,800 houses available in Nassau County. And that was 6% more than June 1st. But when you compare it to July 1st, 2019, it is 37% lower. No, 40% lower from 2019. So in 2019, on July 1st, we had 6,384 homes available in Nassau County. This July 1st, 3,801, 40% less. In terms of under contracts, we are down 37% from what the statistic was at the end of June. What June contracts were in 2019 were 2,620 in Nassau County and now 1,628. Now, that 6% increase month over month has shown itself in certain towns. So Plainview went up from 74 to 86 listings available on July 1st from June. And that still gives us an absorption rate of 1.9 months. Bethpage was up a little, but its absorption rate is 1.5. Syosset inventory is almost steady from last month. Its absorption rate is 1.8. Hicksville took a big jump in inventory from 64 available on June 1st to 86 available on July 1st, but the absorption rate is still just 2.0. Levittown had a decline in inventory, and its absorption rate, I think, is the lowest at 1.1 months of inventory. Wantor had an increase, but its absorption rate is 1.3. Farmingdale had a big increase in inventory, but it had a big increase in contracts, and the absorption rate of 1.7. Suffolk County is really interesting. When we were having the market go up, it was lagging Nassau County in 2018 and 2019. The amount of inventory on July 1st is down 16% in Suffolk County month over month. When you look at the inventory on July 1st, 2019, it is 50% of the inventory that we had. This is Suffolk County. When we look at the under contracts in Suffolk County are down 43%. July 1st this year versus July 1st, 2019. We're not going to count 2020. There was a crazy up and down year. We were under lockdown for 3 months, but I think a much better view of the normal market was 2019, and we're 43% less contracts. The absorption rate in Suffolk County is 1.9 months worth of inventory. In 2019, it was 4.4. The average in 2019 was 4.3, and the average so far this year is 2.1. So I guess you could say from an inventory point of view, Nassau County's gotten a little better and Suffolk County has gotten much worse. And I think that's a very simple explanation for that. It's a matter of price points. It's a matter of what the average price in Nassau County is versus the average price in Suffolk. And the lower end of the market is still very frothy because that's the place where there's the most competition. So will this change? I don't think so in the near future. We're going to have to deal with this market at least for the rest of this year. And we'll see what developments come from that. But I don't see a big surge in inventory, and certainly your paychecks are being impacted by the fact that over 2019, Nassau County contracts July 1st were down 37%, and in Suffolk County down 45%. So it's harder to make money. It's easier to make money with listings, but even there is some reticence. We have some listings in our inventory right now that have been around for a month, which sounds like crazy, but that is not unusual. If there is something with the house that isn't exactly what the buyers are looking for, you will tend to see that this thing will continue to take longer to market. So some of us have very easy time marketing and others have some challenges. Certainly, we want to talk on a weekly basis about your challenges and make sure you keep moving ahead. Everything that we have in our inventory should be sold. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, so a bunch of announcements, things that are going on. First thing is, it is the end of the first half, and that means that everybody should be setting up their first half business reviews with me. I will give you till Monday to schedule it on your own, and then Monday I will start tracking you down and finding out what your schedule's like. I'd rather you be more proactive with this and get it done. So there's two things we'll be discussing. The first is how you did this first half versus the last 2 years and how it matches the goals you had for this year. And number two, how you're incorporating DeltaNet into your business. I still believe that it is grossly underused. I understand we're not used to such a powerful tool, and we're used to a bunch of tools that didn't work together. This is a big change. I want to see more people take advantage of it because I am sure that it will increase your income. And we will be on this song until the dance ends. So one review at a time every quarter. You understand that I can look in DeltaNet and see what you're doing or not doing. I can see how many people you have, how many people in groups, what groups you have. Are they active? Are you sending things out? Are you using the task list to keep track of your calls? All things that you should be doing, whatever your business plan is. So might as well go to the DeltaNet hint of the week, which is use the task list. So I work with one agent to make sure that they would be able to call their database once a quarter. And how do we do that? We created a campaign that was built on 4 calls, 90 days apart. And then we just put everybody on that campaign. So on July 1st, everybody in their database ended up on a task list to call. And as they make those calls, they put a little check mark in the box and that task disappears. It is the only way to be sure that you're actually calling everybody you should, and you should be calling anybody in your Delta Media database at least 4 times a year. So if you need help doing something like that, let me know. But the point is, if you're working that day, one of the first things you should do is log into your Delta Media dashboard and look at your tasks for the day. It's just an easy way to make sure that things don't slip by. And the follow-ups can be not only those quarterly calls that you need to make to everybody, but the people that you need to call monthly because they said they were going to list in September, or the people that are buyer leads that say they're going to resume after the summer. Don't leave it to your memory. Don't leave it to sticky notes. You have a tool that makes this very easy. You just have to learn how to use it. So when we do your review, it will be something we will discuss, and certainly discuss any questions or set up any training that's necessary to get you to use it to its fullest extent. Okay, number 2 announcement. I announced this last time, but I don't think it got through. The company has hired a transaction manager. She is checking in .loop. She is checking when you put out a listing to make sure the listing paperwork is in order. She's checking when you put something under contract to make sure that the paperwork is in order. And then she's checking at closing to make sure that everything is in order, which means that every file has to have an agency disclosure, a fair housing disclosure, a lead paint disclosure if the house is built before 1978. And then your sales agreements, your listing contracts, your buyer broker contracts, all signed. Whether you use .loop or not to create those documents, a copy of the documents that are signed. Just one other thing that came up that I think is important to reiterate. Your agency disclosure and your fair housing disclosure need to be signed at first contact, not the day before the closing. Number two, your lead paint needs to be signed before the home inspection. After you have an accepted offer and you're going for the home inspection, that lead paint is supposed to remind people that they have the option to search for lead paint in the house. Most people do not pay the extra money to test for it because in most houses they've been repainted many times since 1978 without lead paint. But the fact is the law stands and there's still a $25,000 fine if you're caught not having your lead paint disclosure. You know, we talked last time about E&O and how it's going to cover. It does not cover that kind of fine. That fine is a personal fine on you. Now, luckily, we've gotten big enough that we can actually hire a person to check everybody's files. And that's going to be a great help. It was something that I wasn't very good at and didn't have the time for. Now it's there. So if you get to a closing and your paperwork is not in order, do not expect to get your check until it is in order. All we're trying to do is protect you and your license. And I know it's going to take time because you're not used to it, but it needs to be done. So just get into the habit of using .loop, using it at the right point in the transaction, and following up on people who you send the .loop document to, but for some reason they don't sign. Now, on the listing side, we cannot put out the listing until the paperwork is signed. And that's something Linda and I should be checking. So that shouldn't be a big issue. On the sales side, it gets a little bit more difficult, especially when it's not in our inventory. But the fact is, this is something our company is committed to. I think it's a good step in the right direction to more professionalism. And I'm hoping that everybody gets on board. If you have any questions at all about it, let me know. But usually when it comes up, is you send me a check, a commission check from a closing, and I go into .loop and I don't see the documents. And that's way too late for that to happen. So we want less and less of that to happen as we go along. And luckily, we have somebody in the company that is a transaction manager. Just so you know, also, the other hire that we just did recently is a marketing director. So now we have a full-time marketing director for the company that will first take over the marketing duties on a company-wide basis, but eventually will be available on a spot basis to consult with agents on their particular marketing problems or needs. Obviously, I would be the first person you would talk to, but if I thought it was something that needed a marketing professional's help, we now have that help. We're going to give him a month or two to get used to his new job and settle in. But after that, we should be getting the benefit of having a marketing director that is at your possible call.
John, you do have a question in the chat.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. How do we know the documents have been reviewed? So there are statuses in .loop. They have not been used well. it is something that you can change the status, like for a purchase to under contract. You can change it to, the file is ready for review for closeout. It really don't have to do anything but do what you're supposed to do. It will be reviewed, and you will know it was reviewed because you will get your check on time.
Yeah, there's also 3 dots to the right of a document, and you can click on that and look at the history, and you can see who did what to the document
Yeah, yeah.
if you have concern.
Yeah, the fact is, everything will be reviewed. It took her a little bit of a time to get up to speed and get all the current listings and under contracts done, but I believe she's moving forward now on a day-to-day basis, checking new listings, checking new contracts, and reviewing files for closing so that they can be paid. So you understand that because we have this person, it's not me that closes the file. I get the word from the transaction manager that the file is complete, and then I can do my thing and mark it for payment. But the fact is, I'm not the one reviewing it. I am trying to be in there as much as I can to help you guys and make sure that you do get things done in a timely manner, that we're not scrambling for things when the check comes in. But the fact is, it is a new regime. I think there's a lot of good benefits to what's going on with the transition of this pretty big merger. And I think the transaction manager and the marketing director are 2 big pluses. Okay, any questions? Just put them in the chat or unmute yourself. We have set up a picnic barbecue at Bethpage Picnic Grounds. Hopefully very convenient to all of you. August 11th from 12 to 5. And you've all gotten an invitation. If you did not receive an invitation, please email me or text me, and I will make sure that you are on the list, but everybody on our agent list was sent it. It is for agents and admins only. Unfortunately, it was too complicated to try to get family in there. This is more like a networking event between the 2 Syosset offices, and I'm hoping that all of you can find the time to drop by. We will have a barbecue picnic. We will have events, games, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun summer afternoon. So tomorrow I am going to resend the invite from Eventbrite to you if you have not responded and got yourself a ticket. When I send that, I appreciate if you can't come, just to let me know so I won't bother you anymore with any other invites. It seems like a long time. This is July 8th, and we're not going till August 11th, but don't wait till August 1st. There is a cutoff date of that Monday, the 9th. We have to plan for how many people are going to be there. We have to start planning for food and drink, which everybody who gets a ticket will actually get a survey asking them what their preferences are. Chicken, hamburgers, frankfurters, beer, iced tea, water, soda. We're going to try to manage everybody's dietary needs. If there are vegetarians or gluten-free or whatever we need, we're going to do our best to make sure that everybody has a good time.
You didn't mention wine, John. You got wine?
Wine? We do have a permit that has been applied to for beer and wine. I was thinking it's a picnic, it would be more beer, but I am very happy to bring a nice bottle of wine if people do respond that that's what they want to drink during the picnic. Yes, no problem. Every reasonable request will be talked to. So hopefully everybody can have what they want. 9 days before, oh, the other thing about the picnic, it is in Bethpage State Park. So there is a parking fee per car. It's $10 per car unless you have an Empire Pass. I know there are certain people that do have them, or you can carpool with people to reduce the cost of the parking. I'm sure we could set something up that you could park here and carpool there. If you need help with that, let me know. Yeah, I was thinking of doing the golf, but maybe we'll, if anybody is interested, it ends at 5 o'clock. I'm hoping to clean up by 5:30. I certainly could get out on one of the 9-hole courses at 5:30. Playing golf earlier, I think, is too much for me. We need to be there early to set up and get the barbecue going. But yes, the golf course is there. It's almost calling me, but it's not going to be a priority that day. But yes, Al, if you want to play at 5:30, we'll run on, and I'm sure we can get on a course in no time at all. Talking about golf, the fundraiser that is near and dear to Tom Gallagher's heart is the annual East Meadow Kiwanis golf outing. It's in memory of his friend who died several years ago tragically. And it is going to be Monday, August 2nd, a 1 o'clock shotgun start. And you get lunch and you get dinner at Borelli's afterwards, and a ridiculous golf outing price of $225. So most golf outings start at $400. This one, I'm not even sure if there are spots available. I have reserved my spot a month ago. I go every year. I find it very enjoyable. Last year, I actually played, Tom Gallagher was in my car, and that was pretty wild. We also ended up having some other Century 21 bigwigs in the cart ahead of us. But in any case, it's a great networking event for the company. Most of the people who come to it are connected to our company. And if you have any interest in it, let me know this week. I'm not even sure they have any spots for the golf left, but it is August 2nd, and it's very well run. So I would recommend it. Okay. The folders and the binders, the covers for the binding are in branded Coldwell Banker. The folders are presentation folders. You're doing a presentation for a buyer client. You're doing a presentation for a seller for a listing. You certainly can put material and paperwork in there. The other option is to bind it. The binding system is very easy. And I recommend everyone do what I do. You take your company listing presentation, you personalize it and pick the pages you want. You print it out, and then you bind it and you put it in your car. So there is absolutely no excuse for running into anybody and not being ready for a listing presentation. I used to keep paperwork in the car. No need to do that. The paperwork is on my phone in Dotloop, and it works very well. But the fact is, since the binders and covers are in, I recommend that you plan to at least bind at least one listing presentation. I just We just found yesterday a pre-listing presentation for someone who wanted to visit a neighbor of one of their listings because they might be interested in selling, and that's a great thing to do. We have them. We have quite a few of them. We're not going to waste them, but I would like to see you use them, and I would certainly like everybody. And you don't have to come in. You can fix the presentation as you want, and you can email it to me, and I can print it and bind it for you, and then you can pick it up at your convenience. So I am very serious about you getting that done for yourself to be prepared. Listings are very, very dear right now. Any extra things that we can do to make sure that we get the next listing is going to be very, very important. And these are two beautiful tools that work very well. Okay, what you've all been waiting for is the announcement I made that we have beefed up our marketing system. It's a little confusing, but I am going to try to take it step by step and explain what we've done. I'll share my screen in a minute so you can see a visual of it, but let me give you some background. We've had different things that would have been available to you as a listing agent. We've had the photographer. We've had the RSP postcards for just listed, just sold. We've had AdWorks that gives you a free week of ads that are targeted to people who are interested in real estate in a 15-mile radius of your listing. We've had a bunch of different tools, and they've all been scattered and sort of done a la carte. We've created 2 presentation packages that you can use for your listings, and I think it makes the task of marketing your listings a little bit easier. So let me share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. This comes from the fact that the blue side of our company, the original Coldwell Banker offices that we bought, had this product called Listing Concierge. And the fact is that it was only available to them because they were a company-owned office. It was not even rolled out yet for the franchise offices that were Coldwell Banker. But it had a package that was very well presented and with help from a professional marketing administrative to get things together for you. And it will be available. Both of these will be available by next week. So I heard today or tomorrow, sometime next week, we will make the transition, and you will be able to pick one of 2 packages. You understand that these packages, the cost of these packages are being subsidized by the company. This is not the cost of the package. This is your cost to the package. So the first one is the American Homes package, which your cost is $239. And it includes your unique professionally designed single property website, your 20 VHT photos, a home spotter ad, which is taking the place of AdWorks. Same kind of principle, only a little bit better because AdWorks never said it was anything but branding. Home spotter actually generates some leads for your listings. A professionally produced YouTube video walkthrough, a just listed e-card email blast sent to agents with a transaction of similar properties in the last 90 days, and then 150 just listed postcards from RSP printed and mailed, and 150 just sold postcards printed and mailed after closing. So if you took that and just the photography, you'd be at over the $239 cost already. You're getting the property website and the home spotter ad, and 150 cards instead of 100 cards. And this is a package that's automatic and will be right now ordered in .loop. In your loop, you will have a listing concierge form that you fill out and you order it for your listing. Right now, we do not have a way to collect money on this, so we are doing it the old way for now, and it goes on your account, and then it comes off your closings. But we are getting to the point a month or two from now where there will be a portal where you will be able to order it, and you will be able to order it with your credit card, and it'll make things a lot easier for our back office that is just done on the spot. So that's the first package. The second is based more on the listing concierge that Coldwell had, and it's very much similar with one big exception. It includes a 20-second spot on Coldwell Banker's weekly TV program. So here you're going to get that 20-second spot. You're going to get the property website. You're going to get the 20 VHT photos. You're going to get the home spotter ad. You're going to get a professionally produced YouTube video walkthrough. You're going to get a social media banner and an email flyer. You're also going to get 25 professionally printed property brochures, 50 just listed, and 100 just sold cards. And that's through Express Docs, not through RSP. We tried very hard to include everything that would make sense for you to do what you want to do to market your listings. And I understand that right now, many of you do not have to spend much money. All you have to do is spend the time to put it on Stratus, and a week later, you have an accepted offer. But let's look forward or look at the listings right now that are not getting the activity that we're looking for. This will be big. The second thing is this can now be part of your listing presentation for two reasons. Number one, it will help you get the listing. How many agents on Long Island can say that their home will be highlighted in a TV show? How many agents have home spotter ads for their listings? Not many. So you've separated yourself from the crowd. Now, hopefully, as the market changes a little bit and things get less crazy, I would say, this should be a great tool for getting yourself a higher commission, especially the $349 package with the TV ad. And one of the things you can go to a homeowner and say, well, look, our basic package is $239, and that comes with a 4% service charge. And our upgraded package is $349, which we pay for. And that comes with, I wouldn't say the price, I would just say what they're getting. Certainly emphasize the TV ad. And this comes with a 5% service charge. The second package will be available on desk under Listing Concierge, and you will be in touch with some administrative people who will help you market your listing from start to finish. And that is already set up for you to put your credit card in when you order it. Okay, I presume there are going to be a bunch of questions about this. And
could I just add a little bit to this?
Absolutely, Leslie, thank you.
Okay, because for the blue package, we had a previous package like that we've been using. And the Listing Concierge, the people that help you with it, literally all you have to do is choose your photographer, write your copy, put it in there, just set up the listing, And then they basically do everything else. They design it. All you have to do is go in, approve the photos, approve the proofs. It's also really meant to get other listings. And I'm pretty sure it will be the same, but the just sold cards, when they go around to the neighborhood, will have a strip saying this home was sold using TV. And, you know, it goes through the process of what you did. So the intention was to help you get other listings. I've also had agents that mailed this to neighborhoods and actually bumped a seller's sister who was going to get the listing because she was so impressed. And the spots are nice on TV. It's got your face, your name, photos of the house. It's a nice piece. And I'm sure that the American Homes one is going to be good too. It's partially to help you get other listings, not only buyers, but other listings too.
Yep, that's what we're looking for.
Yep.
Who needs more stinking buyers, right?
Right.
So let me explain. These are optional. You do not have to use either one of these anytime. They're there for your convenience. And obviously, if you're going to put them in your listing presentation, you need to use them. But other than that, you can do what you did before, mostly a la carte. So you can order your photographs from VHT and not have the package. And that's going to be the new norm as July 1st was $100 for the 20 photographs. So you can order those. Linda will have things set up that's going to be much improved in VHT, that there'll be in individual agent accounts. But the only difference is if you're going to order the VH photographs and you're not ordering a package, I believe eventually when the system is set up, you're going to have to pay for them with a credit card. The second thing is you can order the postcards directly from RSP or Express Docs. Again, that would be a la carte. You would pay for it yourself. The good news is that the Home Spotter is going to be for every listing, whether you pick a package or not, just like AdWorks was for every listing, whether you pick a package or not. So whether you pick a package or not, your listing will get a Home Spotter ad, just like it got an AdWorks ad. And then other than that, you decide which package you want to use, depending on the listing and your relationship with the seller and what you promised them at the listing presentation, and so forth. But
John,
yes.
I'm sorry, Dan had asked, it's not an annual charge, it's a per listing charge.
Yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do, there's no annual fee. This is just per listing, per package. And you take a package on one listing, you don't have to take it on another. You can take an American Homes package on this listing. You can take a blue package on the other listing. You can do the third listing a la carte. It does not matter. All it does is make the presentation of what you're going to do a little cleaner. And if you use the blue package, you're going to have a lot of help in making sure everything gets done properly. You are going to get those printed brochures, which, you know, any listing that's sort of high end over 800,000, you certainly should be thinking about something like that. But the way I look at it is part of the merger has made us look at each piece of what we do and say, how can we take the best of both of these, you know, and give you the best tools possible. And I believe this is a major upgrade for you to be able to be more competitive with the market and set yourself apart from other agents going into a house. So As I said, it should be ready by next week. As soon as it is fully functional and available, you will get a text or email from me, but you should be planning on it. One of the first tasks of our marketing director is to add slides to our listing presentation, to show the different packages, to show HomeSpotter instead of AdWorks. Those things are being prepared now and hopefully will also be available next week. But I look forward to your feedback for what you think is useful to you, any questions you have. This is a big transition and we're taking it step by step. I think we've made some good progress, but there's more to go. I'm particularly not happy that we don't have open house signs, but they are in process. And I was going to wait till the open house signs came in to put in an order for people that didn't have open house signs. I decided to put that order in yesterday. So I will have open house signs here before the regular order is done. You will be able to borrow them until you get the ones that you need. And if you didn't have them, you'll be able to buy 2 or 3 open house signs if you like. I'm sure they're going to come in before the order from Merlin comes in. I ordered them from D yesterday. But the fact is, not everything's going to go smoothly when you have a transition this big, and it's just a lot for Merlin to do. And we're getting a little bit behind in our timeline. Okay, do I have any questions that would like to be talked to the whole group? Okay. You can certainly text me or email me any questions you might have about anything that we said in the meeting, but certainly about the new packages.